Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people for your Thursday, February the 29th. Yep, it's a leap day, which is, of course, when you get those jokes about people that are born on February 29th, so they're only, one birthday for every 4 years. I don't know, watch the pirate movie. Anyways, don't watch the pirate movie. I enjoyed it when I was a kid, and then I watched it again a couple years ago, and I was like, I used to like this movie. Anyways, um, let's talk about hockey, shall we? So, Coach Andre Tourney saying that Clayton Keller's day to day, but he won't play tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs or tomorrow night. I believe they're playing Ottawa tomorrow night. So Keller's day to day, but he missed the last game. Now he's going to miss the next couple. Sure sounds like a week, but anyways, that's how injuries are reported now in the National Hockey League. So coming out of last night's trade of Chris Tanev, there was a lot of talk about how the Flames, that's all they can get. That's all they can get. They didn't get enough. According to general manager Craig Conroy, this was a deal that they were working on with a number of teams, and they were going back and forth. When Dallas made their offer, they went to the other teams and said, look, are you willing to improve your offers? And none of the teams agreed to. So they took the trade with Dallas because they wanted Artem Grushnikov, the defenseman they picked up, who was apparently playing really well in Texas, according to Craig Conroy. They did their scouting on this, said he's good at killing penalties, he's a great skater, and that the numbers at the AHL level don't tell the whole story. Doesn't mean he's going to be another Chris Tanev, but again, it sounds like he's a really good defensive defenseman, and he's got really good wheels, and he's good with the puck. So that's why Calgary picked him up. We'll see whether or not Conroy turns out to be correct about that. And I honestly, I think you give Conroy the benefit of the doubt on this because, popular guy and seems to know what he's talking about. So yeah, why not give him the benefit of the doubt? We'll see. We can look back like 5 years down the road. We'll have a good idea about whether or not Calgary did well on the Tanev trade. Coach Jacques Martin talking today about Josh Norris, saying he's going to be out for an extended period of time, so that'll roll him out for the rest of this season. And Hamonic's week to week. Shabbat was still undergoing examination. Haven't seen anything about how long Shabbat's going to be out, but yeah, the injuries are really piling up for the Ottawa Senators again. And Josh Norris, it's his shoulder. And again, so Norris, of course, has had these problems before, and so we'll see how things go with Norris from here. But it definitely sounds like this season is done. Will he be good to go in October? We'll probably have a better idea of the timeline. I would think over the next few days we'll have a better idea. But he's not likely to come back this season. So 2 coaches were fined today by the National Hockey League for unprofessional conduct directed at the officials. Don Granato of the Buffalo Sabres and Sheldon Keefe of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Not really a surprise with Keefe. Mild surprise with Granato, but yeah. So 2 coaches getting kind of a slap on the wrist. $25,000 for each coach. And if you're wondering why that's so much more than the players, well, coaches aren't part of the NHLPA. The NHLPA negotiates the fines that are allowed under the CBA, and so coaches is a little bit different. But yeah, so I don't think this is going to change anything. Sheldon Keefe tried to avoid this. He wasn't talking about it after the game, wouldn't talk about it the day after, but yeah, so still gets fined anyways. The NHL clearly wanting to clamp down a little bit. This might be a warning shot too at other coaches. Notice there's a lot of yelling at officials going on lately, so this may just very well be a kind of a just knock it off kind of a fine to 2 coaches to let the other 30 know, okay, that we're getting tired of this. But anyways, on Toronto news, Wall does get the start tonight against the Coyotes, a team they haven't won at home in regulation against the Coyotes since 2002. And Jeff Follett posted on the formerly known as Twitter a screenshot of Matthew Knies' birthday being the last day that the Leafs won at home in regulation against the Arizona Coyotes in 2002. So maybe it's a good luck charm, and Arizona born and all that. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. But the Arizona Coyotes have had Toronto's number in Toronto. No idea why. We'll see if that's the case. I was even going to wear Toronto today. I thought, yeah, I'll wear Toronto. And I thought, nah, I don't want to be blamed for the curse if they lose. But yeah, I was going to wear Toronto for the preview and decided not to. So for Vegas, Jack Eichel spotted in practice in wearing a regular jersey, taking a full practice. So it looks like Eichel, I would think, should be back. Maybe not for tonight's game against Boston, but maybe the next game. But if he's in a regular jersey, maybe he does come off the LTIR and play tonight against Boston. We shall see. Of course, a lot of discussion amongst fans about LTIR with Vegas. Keep an eye on him. Yeah, Eichel's coming back. So, yeah, Stone is not on LTIR. Last I looked, he's just on the injured reserve. So, yeah, it doesn't look like Vegas is up to anything heinous. But again, and I pointed this out recently too, who's available on the market that would eat up $10 million in cap space that Vegas would use to replace Eichel? Like, I can't think of anybody on the market that would be worth that amount of money. Now, speaking of markets, and of course, the Vancouver market gets discussed a lot. And yes, Vancouver is a very noisy market in terms of media, in terms of fans, and everything else. And Frank Saravalli, talking to Sakaris and Price today, saying that what he's hearing is it could be $12.5 million a year for Patterson, which would put that contract, if it's 8 years, at $100 million for Patterson. And I think Patterson's play, I think he's been worth it. And Patterson admitting that, it's kind of hard to tune out all the noise and all of that. So the negotiations have taken place over the last 48 to 72 hours, again, according to Frank Saravalli. And honestly, I think, too, what people are forgetting in all this is, the media. Well, the media is getting its information likely from the team. So just throwing that out there. They have sources within the team, so the team really wanted Patterson to sign this contract. They want to have certainty about their because Alvin even mentioned this in a recent interview. They want to have their budget for this year and next year figured out as soon as possible. So getting that money for Patterson figured out, how much he gets, makes it way easier to go into July 1st and beyond with some semblance of plan. And between now and July 1st too, especially with the salary cap, with the trade deadline being in a week's time. So it really would help the Canucks tremendously to have Patterson signed and have that major piece of the roster figured out. And I think Patterson, who's been struggling to score points recently, I think we would see him come out of that. But hopefully he comes out of that tonight anyways. So at any rate, I understand why people complain about the media and everything. But at the same time, I don't think the media is as negative as it used to be. I don't, but that's just me. And anyways, if he gets signed, that's a good thing, right? I have seen comments, no team over $10 million has ever won a Stanley Cup. Like over $10 million salary cap hit for one player. That's obviously going to change. There are going to be a lot of players making more than $10 million a year, especially with the salary cap skyrocketing. So that line in the sand, that's going to get wiped out pretty quickly. And who knows? Maybe the Canucks, right? I hope. I genuinely hope that my relationship with the Canucks ends in a Stanley Cup win at some point. There's been some lean years. So the fact that the Canucks are a contender, I think, is good. And that should have driven him to the table as well, because Patterson was clear that he wanted to go somewhere and play somewhere where he had a chance to win. Well, now Vancouver is near the top of the standings. So they've done their part. The Vancouver Canucks have done their part to build up a really good team. And now his part is to sign and stay on. So, yeah, we'll see how it all goes. But it definitely looks like Patterson contract news is trending in the right direction, which is great. Cal Peterson has cleared waivers for the Philadelphia Flyers. No surprise there. So he gets sent down to the AHL. They have called up Sandstrom. They've also called up Addard because they need Addard on the blue line with Drysdale being placed on the injured reserve. And so we'll see if Sandstrom gets in any games. But for Philadelphia, Ersson and Sandstrom, I like Ersson. Ersson's fine, but they need another goalie. If they're going to make that push towards the playoffs, I do think they need another goaltender. And so we'll see whether or not they go out and fix that issue with the team. Because I think if they get some really good goaltending, I think the Flyers are going to surprise people. But at any rate, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you have not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always, and I will talk to you again soon.